Okay. North Georgia GMRS YouTube folks, I'm glad you could hang out with us this evening. Thank you and welcome. As I get myself into the chair at the other desk and hit this button so that you can see me. So, hey, everybody, glad you're here. Going to get this thing started here in just a few minutes. A couple of things that I'll make you aware of. We're going to start talking about our membership drive. We have some exciting numbers. 313 paying members for North Georgia GMRS, and we're very excited about the growth that we've seen this year, and hope that we can start off next year with a really good start. It looks like we are already, so that's exciting stuff. And once we start the net off, I'm going to make a couple announcements about the membership drive and about our ability to begin renewing our dues for next year. And hey, it's Christmas time. I don't know if any of you saw the post that I made, but some of us that are able, this is a great opportunity to excuse me for that, make a gift of a membership to someone who's having a tough time. And there's plenty of people out there this year that are having a tough time. So if you have a friend, neighbor, acquaintance that needs some help getting their membership paid for, then please make arrangements to do that on their behalf. That would be awesome. So let's see where we at. We have about 2 minutes left, and okay, good deal. I just checking to make sure that all of my systems and backup systems and systems to back up the backup systems are systeming, and it looks like they are. So I think we're good to go. I don't have a way to check the tiki bar, so I think we'll just have to hope that that device is artificially inflating our viewership. Um, there's no one out there, so it doesn't matter. But I thought the squirrels and the birds might enjoy hanging out with North Georgia GMRS. We'll see. There's an HT that lives on a charger out there at the Tiki Bar, and it's kind of good for monitoring, but it doesn't really have enough to get to the pine log repeater through the trees. Maybe it does this time of year. Let's try it again. But it's a good tool for monitoring. So there'll be plenty of confusion with that little HT talking and the TV talking half a minute apart, or whatever the delay is. I'm not really sure. I just know there is a delay. I've set the delay, the latency, to the minimum setting that I can do here in the live stream application. But I know that there's still considerable latency, even when we're not streaming. Just going from a right here in the room into the OBS application, if you're monitoring the audio from that, there's a delay. So everything takes time to happen. We have 5 seconds until we go on the air. My script is up, and I think we're going to make this. Okay, it looks like the stream was interrupted. I'm not sure what the cause of that was. Hopefully it's back up. Looks like it is. Okay. Any guests, new members, or youth members, please call North Georgia GMRS Regional Net. Call Net Control now. All right. Then we're going to move on to Pine Log. Okay, then let's keep this thing moving, and we'll take check-ins from the Pine Log repeater. Anyone wishing to check in through the Pine Log repeater, please call Net Control now. Oh boy.
This is WRC CW219, Lena 23, Mitchell and Holly Springs. I'll be in and out.
WQMN 733, Atlanta 36, Bill in Waleska on the portable, in and out.
Atlanta 911, WRAS 515, Cassandra in Woodstock.
948, WRAR 430, Gary in Woodstock. Check me in and out, Julie.
This is Atlanta 299, Steve in Roswell, WRJE 398.
WRJF 981, Dan in Marietta.
This is Atlanta 555, Dave in Marietta, WRJA 382. Hello all.
Oh, you guys probably don't want to look at me. You want to look at the log. There we go.
This is Atlanta 485, Steve, Holly Springs, WRJZ 902.
This is Atlanta 442, WRAH 210, Craig and Ackworth, coming in on a newly refurbished TK380 portable. Check me in and out. Have a good night, everybody.
This is Atlanta 180, this is Mike, WRBT 591, coming to you from Serial Mode, North Georgia. I'm going to be in lurking mode tonight. I think everybody refers to that as in and out. Good evening, network. This is Atlanta 780, WQUV 439, Houston and Austell. Good evening.
This is Atlanta 414, WRJR 877, Matt and Kennesaw. Good evening, everyone.
All right. Well, you guys are making it easy. I wasn't rushed trying to make the entries. I was able to keep up with everything. You guys didn't double. Man, it's like it's Christmas time or something. So let me go through what I have after my VoIP check-ins. I have Atlanta 23, Mitchell in Holly Springs. Mitchell, I've got you in the log as in and out. It's great to hear from you. I hope all is going well with you and your family over there. And next I have Atlanta 36, Bill in Waleska. Bill is also in and out this evening. Thank you, Bill, for checking in with us. It's great to hear from you, and also hope that the holiday season is treating you well. Next on my list is Atlanta 911, Cassandra in Woodstock. It's great to hear from you. Looking forward to hearing your comments here in a little while, and your radio is sounding fantastic. Next on my list, Atlanta 948, Gary in Woodstock. Gary is in and out tonight, but it's great to hear from you. And Julie's not going to put you in the log tonight, Gary, but I will. So we'll just leave it at that. Next on my list, I have Atlanta 299, Steve in Roswell. Steve, it's great to hear from you. Looking forward to your comments here in a little while. And next I have WRJF 981, Dan in Marietta. Dan, I'm glad you were able to make the net tonight, and looking forward to hearing a little bit from you. Also from Marietta, I have Atlanta 555 Dave. Got you in the log and looking forward to your comments here in a little while. And we have Atlanta 485 Steve in Holly Springs. Steve, I'm glad you're here tonight. And looking forward to your comments. My next two are in and out. That would be Atlanta 442 Craig in Ackworth. Thank you, Craig, for checking in with us. I hope things are going well. And we'll talk with you again sometime soon. And we have Atlanta 180 Mike from Cherry Log in lurking mode. Appreciate you checking in with us tonight, Mike, and it's good to know you're out there listening. And we'll look forward to your comments another time. Two more on my list. Atlanta 780 Houston in Austell. Houston, thank you for checking in, and I'm looking forward to hearing of your adventures and your tales. And I have Atlanta 414 Matt in Kennesaw, also in a log. Looking forward to hearing your comments. Do we have any additional Pine Log check-ins? Last call for Pine Log, then we'll move on.
This is Atlanta 123, WRFP 619, Tim in Woodstock. Going to be short time this evening. Joni and I are going over to check out the Lights of Joy in Kennesaw.
All right, Tim. Well, thank you for checking in with us this evening. I've got you in the log as in and out, and go enjoy the lights. Have a great time, and we look forward to hearing your comments another time. Any other Pine Log check-ins? Then we'll go ahead. I'll tell you, let's just go ahead and do this now. We're going to take check-ins from any repeater anywhere, including Pine Log. So anyone wishing to check into the North Georgia GMRS regional net, any repeater anywhere, please call net control now.
WUM 628, David, Comer, Georgia.
This is 29 Bill in Lookout Mountain, in and out.
This is Atlanta 245 David in Lumpkin County. I'll be in and out tonight.
Mercy. Sorry about that.
W15, we're going to be
WREJ 789.
Hope everyone has
DJ
a nice
in
night.
Noonan on the Moreland repeater. Noonan 45, checking in and out, and also going to be lurking. Y'all have a good one.
Net control.
This is WRAP 241, Atlanta 403 in Port Charlotte, Florida. Technical issues. Sorry for the late check-in. I hope I can stick around.
Copy. WQYV 343, Whiskey, Quebec, Yankee, Victor 343, Atlanta 47, Atlanta 47, Todd, Tango Roscoe, Delta Delta, Gainesville, Georgia to Sassafras, sir. I'll be out. Have a good day.
WRHW 610, Greg from Big City of Bremen. Good evening, everyone.
McDonough 22, WRCR 952, Tim, on the portable in Stockbridge through the McDonough repeater.
Okay, another fantastic round of check-ins at an excellent pace, allowing me to make entries and keep up. So very cool. Thank you all for that. Um, Let me go back to this last round and acknowledge CW15 David in Comer. And David, I did catch you as in and out. I hope that all is well with you and your family over there, and thank you for checking in with us. Looking forward to your comments another time. Also in the log, I have Chattanooga 58 Bill checking in on the Lookout Mountain repeater. Bill, it's great to hear from you. I've got you in the log as in and out, and can't wait to see the next SpaceX adventure with the SN9. Next on my list, I have Atlanta 245 David in Lumpkin County. David, I've got you in the log as in and out. Thank you for checking in with us. It's great to hear from you. And next I have Noonan 45. I missed the name there, and I didn't get a chance to look that up. Noonan 45, I've got you in the log here, and I've got you lurking. At some point, I'll fill in that name there in the log, unless you want to come back with that. But I've got you in here as in and out. Thank you for checking in with us. Glad to know you're out there listening. Next on my list, I have Atlanta 403 Bobby, the temporary Georgia resident. I think he just comes up here to vote, but clearly he is a Florida resident checking in from Port Charlotte. It's great to hear from you this evening, Bobby, and I'm looking forward to hearing of your holiday travel adventures very soon. It sounds to me like you're on one of those right now. Next on my list, I have WQYZ343. I believe that was Atlanta 47 Todd checking in and out on the Sassafras repeater. It's great to hear from you, Todd. We haven't heard from you for a while, so hope all is well with you, and it's good to know that you're out there listening. Look forward to hearing your comments another time. Next on my list, I have Atlanta 172 Greg in Bremen, the big city. Looking forward to hearing your comments here shortly, Greg. And we have McDonough 22 Tim in Stockbridge. Tim, it's great to hear from you tonight. And again, looking forward to your comments as well. Do we have any additional check-ins to the North Georgia GMRS Regional Net? Please call Net Control now.
Noonan 59, Michael Johnson, Whiskey, Romeo, Hotel, September 306, talking off the handheld in Noonan, Georgia, off the Noonan repeater, checking in and out.
All right, Michael. Well, you are making the trip very, very well for NHT. I've got you in here, Noonan 59, checking in from Noonan. And I've got you in a log as in and out. Thank you for monitoring us this evening, and we'll get your comments another time. I think this is a good time to head up to the top of the list, and if we have anyone who missed the opportunity to check in, we will certainly open up the floor for check-ins once we get through this list and take late check-ins at that time. So you haven't missed out yet. We will definitely try to get to you, and we'd love to hear your comments. So with that, I'm going to, before I go to the top of the list, I've got a couple of things I wanted to talk about. And let's see, where's my notes? Here we go. Membership dues are coming due. We would like all of the renewals to be handled by the end of January. So this is a great time to go ahead and get your membership renewals in and give us a good idea of where we stand for the coming year. We've had a fantastic year in 2020, and despite all of the angst and turmoil and troubles and woes of 2020, North Georgia GMRS has had a booming interest in memberships with 313 is where we stand right now. So that's a fantastic number, and really hope that we're able to sustain that and maintain the interest and provide a service that keeps people wanting to become and maintain a membership with North Georgia GMRS. So As info, if you just go to the ngmrs.org webpage, there is a pay your dues now, pay 2021 membership dues here. Just click on that and follow through that, and that will get you where you need to be for the coming year. So we'll be talking a lot about our membership dues. And one thing I just want to mention, I made a post on Facebook about this, but for those of us that are doing okay, there are plenty of us that are not, and if you wanted to make a Christmas gift of a membership, this might be a great opportunity to do that if you know of someone who could use that as a benefit, or even if they just if you just want to give it because we're all radio nuts, and it's a cool radio gift, and it's a very affordable gift. So keep that in mind. You can provide a basic membership for someone, and if they want to upgrade, then they can pay the difference for the upgrade. But that's a great gift idea, I think, for the membership. And one thing I also want to talk about is that if you are in a position where you've been laid off or you've been furloughed and you've been having a tough time keeping the bills paid or what have you, just reach out to either Gary or myself, and we will take a look at what we have for resources. We always have a couple of people every year that donate for hardship memberships. So if you're experiencing that and would like to remain a member, we would very much like to keep you as a member. And if that is a situation that is relevant to you, please reach out, like I said, to either Gary or myself, and we will endeavor to find the scholarship, for lack of a better word, sponsorship for your membership, so that we can keep you in the group. So with all of that handled, I think we'll go ahead and move on now to Atlanta, 253 Donald in Blairsville. Donald, what kind of holiday adventures have you embarked on, or do you have plans for one this year? Uh-oh. Zello can be very challenging at times. Atlanta 253, are you still with us, Donald? We'd love to hear your comments with regard to your travel adventures over the holidays. Donald, are you still with us?
I don't know what we're doing for Christmas this year yet.
All right. Well, have you had any recent travel holiday-related adventures that you'd like to share with us? Falling into the pool and at the Holiday Inn, or other silliness of that nature? Sorry about that.
No, not that I can think of.
All right, Donald. Well, I hope that you have a relatively safe and quiet and fun and enjoyable holiday season this year. Merry Christmas to you, and we look forward to talking with you again soon. We'll go ahead and move on. Next on my list, I have Atlanta 32, Chris in Nebraska. Chris was in and out with us this evening. And that brings me next to Atlanta 23, Mitchell in Holly Springs. Mitchell is also in and out this evening. And we have Atlanta 36, Bill from Waleska. Bill is in and out with us this evening. But we have one that did stick around, or perhaps has stuck around. We'll find out here in a moment. Atlanta 911, Cassandra, right here in Woodstock. Cassandra, do you have any holiday travel adventure stories that from your recent past or from your near future that you'd like to share with the group?
Well, everybody's checking in and out tonight. So I guess I'm up. No, nothing exciting. I think you know my brother just moved up to Murphy, North Carolina, and is actually renting a place about 2 doors down from my parents. And my mom is surprising him by flying his son in for Christmas. So he comes in the same day that Jordan's here. So I will be, I don't know if I'm having to go pick him up or if my mom is. So he'll be here for Christmas. So that'll be exciting. First time in a long time we'll have everybody except for my older sister and her family here.
Well, that's pretty cool. You say that was in Murphy, North Carolina. That'll be a neat little family gathering and surprise. So that should be fun. I'm sure, and a convenient excuse to avoid the Byerlys during that time frame.
Never need or want an excuse to avoid the Byerlys. I love the Byerlys.
Well, some of them anyway. Yeah, I hear you, and well, I hope that you have a great time, and hopefully Santa Claus will take note of your temporary relocation and respond accordingly. It's great to hear from you this evening, and tell the family that North Georgia GMRS says hello. Next on my list, I have Atlanta 948, Gary in Woodstock. Gary is also in and out. He's a busy guy. He rarely has time to hang out with us for the entire program, but we're glad that he at least takes the time to check in. Next on my list, I have Atlanta 299, Steve in Roswell. Steve, I'm looking forward to your comments. Do you have any adventures of holiday travel, past, present, or future, you'd like to share with the group?
No real adventures for this year. We're going to stick around here and just have some local family come over, which will be good, which is what we normally do on Christmas. We normally travel to Thanksgiving season, which we didn't do this year, but we had a great Thanksgiving here. But I guess the only thing really new around here would be, let me break. I just got my VE, or Volunteer Examiner, certificate for hams, so I'll be joining the North Fulton VE group for the Saturday session up here in Roswell, if anybody is coming to take their ham exam. But that's about it. And I just did want to say also that if you need any contributions for anybody that may not be able to renew their membership, please call me.
Well, outstanding. Well, congratulations on getting the VE certificate, and thank you so much for taking the time to give back to the ham radio community in that meaningful way. And I'd be curious, Steve. I don't know if you have a Facebook account or if you participate, but if you do, it would be really cool if you could post your test session dates on our webpage, or not our webpage, but on our Facebook page. And I think that the members would very much appreciate knowing that those dates are there, and you might get some participation from us. As you may or may not know, roughly half of our membership are hams. Julie and I are both hams, and most of the leadership, all of the leadership of North Georgia GMRS are hams. And many of them are extras with VE credentials, so I hope to achieve that at some point, but we're not there yet. But in any case, thank you very much for your contribution in that way, and also thank you for the offer of sponsoring someone. So my suspicion is that this year is probably going to be unique in that area, and I anticipate that we may see more of a request for help of that nature than we've seen in the past. So we'll definitely take note of that, and we will reach out to you if we need the sponsorship. So thank you again for that. And yeah, holiday travel. We don't really have anything going on either. We have a small gathering that's going to happen here with our son from Fort Bragg, and our other son that lives here but has been visiting Indiana should be home. And we might have a couple of other people. We just got a big old stack of face masks so that we can be sure everybody has one, and we'll try to gather together distantly as best we can. Next on my list, I have WRJF 981 Dan in Marietta. Dan, are you a guest? Are you a visitor? Are you a new member? It's great to hear from you. I'd love to talk to you for just a moment.
Yeah, member for sure. Guess the call sign or code got cut off. Atlanta 308 is what you're looking for.
Okay. Okay, I think I remember speaking with you, Atlanta 308. Dan, what do you have? What do you have for the holiday adventure? Do you have any stories of holiday trips that have gone wrong, or do you have adventures that are in the works?
I think, like most people, we're gonna keep it pretty calm this year. About the biggest adventure we get into is a little bit of camping. Last week took the boys and threw the tent in the truck and went up. I'm sure there's some folks on here familiar with the area. The Blue Ridge Wildlife Management Area, just east of LJ, and did some camping off all the Nuntutla Road trail. It's a forest management trail that runs through the wildlife area there. Some waterfalls, and there was no one out there, so it was a pretty cool trip. But that's about the big adventure we'll have that I can think of.
Oh, that sounds like a great adventure. And yeah, this time of the year, I'd imagine most folks are probably thinking about not camping. Weather's a little bit iffy and somewhat cold, and if you're not prepared, that could be quite uncomfortable. But if you are prepared, that can work out quite well and to your advantage because, as you noted, nobody else is out there. So that's fantastic stuff. And you know, this year, I think that truly most people are going to be small gatherings or staying home. But I just wanted to kind of reminisce for a moment about a trip that my family went on when I must have been probably 12, 13, maybe 14 years old. It was a long time ago. We lived in Indiana, and my mom's family is from Rapid City, South Dakota. And kind of at the last minute, the decision was made to go to Rapid City and spend Christmas with the family out there. And my family had just acquired a Chevrolet diesel pickup truck, and this was in the early 80s. Would have been probably 80, maybe one or two. And if anybody can recall what diesel pickup trucks were at that time, this particular one had a General Motors diesel engine in it. It wasn't a Cummins or anything like that. It was straight up a 350 block that they just dieselized, and it was a terrible engine. It was just terrible. And driving through Wisconsin and through the northern states there out to the Dakotas. I think we're actually in the Dakotas when we got into the blizzard. We ran into negative temperatures and massive winds and snow drifts, and the fuel on that truck was gelling up while the truck was running, and it was just terrible. Ended up spending a couple of days at a hotel in the middle of nowhere. And I recall during that trip, I recall my dad going out to the truck, and the wind was just screaming. We were at the hotel. He went out to the truck just for a minute, and when he came back, it was almost like he was on the verge of frostbite. His fingers were blue, and his face was all covered in icicles and stuff hanging off of his mustache and his eyebrows. And he had a bottle of Jim Beam, and the bottle the alcohol in a bottle had turned to, well, I'm sure the alcohol didn't, but the water that was in with the alcohol had turned to slush. So that is a memory that has always stuck with me. I've never seen that ever since. Just that one time in my life have I seen that. So that was our holiday adventure. It was quite treacherous. Lucky to have made it out of there alive. Um, haven't been to South Dakota since. Well, that's not true, but it's not a pleasant memory. But thank you for that, Dan, and I hope that you and the kids had a great time camping, and looking forward to hearing more stories as we go. And next on my list, I have Atlanta 555. Dave, also in Marietta. Dave, do you have any holiday adventures you'd like to share?
Justin, with us being originally from the West Coast, although in Atlanta for 30 years, we tended to travel a lot for the holidays. Mainly, we would, parents would come out here, but as they aged, we would end up traveling to the West Coast. So 4 years ago, we decided that we would surprise who live in Pismo Beach, a small coastal town 3 hours south of San Francisco. We would surprise them on Christmas Eve. So the wife and sons flew in, surprised the heck out of them. They at the time they were in their late 80s, so that was a wonderful part. Got to enjoy the evening with them. But the memorable part was waking up Christmas Day at 4 a.m. Remember, California is 3 hours.
No, I'm afraid we might have a battery issue on an HT. He's still trying.
And we made our way out.
Dave, I'm not sure if you're still transmitting or not, but hopefully you've broken. We lost you there. I don't know if you're on an HT or what kind of a radio you're using, but you started off okay. But when you got to the part where you were going to tell us about the interesting part of your surprise visit to your folks in California, that's when we lost you. And from there on, it was broken. So if you can get to a better transmitting position, maybe you can try to pick that up and fill us in on what the best part of that adventure was. Come on back, Dave, with that.
Justin, it might be the new antenna.
Okay, I heard you say it might be the new antenna. Well, if you're concerned about the antenna, you may have a high SWR, and I don't want to ask you to transmit again. So I'll go ahead and fill in the blanks, and just know that you had a very memorable trip, and what a cool thing to surprise your parents, especially you say they were in their 80s at that time. I'm sure they were very surprised. That's something that my family has always loved to do, is show up unannounced and surprise, and oftentimes it very much is a surprise. And 947 and I tend to be pretty busy with plans to do things nearly every weekend, and my folks have shown up at kind of unannounced and early, and it didn't work out quite like they had hoped, because we were obligated to things, and but we do enjoy spending time with them. But when you're busy all the time, that can introduce a new challenge. I'm glad to hear that that's not what happened with you, that they were there and that they were able to receive you, and would love to know the rest of that story. I think I heard you say that you had gotten up at 4 a.m. and you were talking about the difference in time between here and there, and that's pretty much where we lost you at. So I'd love to hear the rest of that story sometime. But thank you for that, Dave. It's great to hear from you, and looking forward to hearing more. Maybe we'll get the rest of that story one of these days. Next on my list, I have Atlanta 485. Steve in Holly Springs. Steve, do you have any holiday adventures you'd like to share? Now I'm looking for Atlanta. 485. Steve in Holly Springs. Steve, were you in and out, or did you stick around? Would love to hear your holiday adventures. Okay, Steve may have been in and out, and maybe I just missed that in log. I thought I was keeping up, but maybe I missed one. So we'll just go ahead and move on. I'll put a couple of check marks there for him for in and out. And we'll move on to our next on our list is Atlanta 442, Craig in Ackworth. Craig was in and out with us this evening. Next I have Atlanta 180, Mike in Cherry Log. I put Cherry Mode in the log. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Well, it's because he said he was in lurking mode. So for whatever reason, Mike in Cherry Mode, I've got you in lurking log. Whatever that means. But thanks for checking in with us, Mike. I hope you're still listening and enjoying the program. Next, I have Atlanta 780, Houston in Austell, and I know that Houston has had some travel adventures. Whether or not they were holiday related, I don't recall. But Houston, floor is yours.
Good evening, Justin. Good evening to the rest of the net. Yes, sir. We've had some pretty good travels and some pretty bad travels. I think that was the Thanksgiving vacation we had when I lost the camper over there. Somebody tapped it in the back. We turned it over.
Pit maneuver.
But we've had some good times too. A lot of them was just around here locally. But we don't have any plans for this year. We're going to pretty much stay at home and just shelter in and have our own turkey and do everything here at the house.
Yeah, I hear that, and the shelter in place is a common theme this year. And rather than buy the whole turkey for just the two of you, Julie this year she just picked up a turkey breast, and we roasted that, used the juices to make gravy. It's not the same, but it's pretty good, and you don't have a month's worth of leftovers that way. So something to consider is rather than a whole turkey, maybe just get some turkey breast or some turkey parts and fix enough food to get by. So, but yeah, challenging season of life for everyone this year. So I understand the whole staying at home and staying out of the way of things. So hopefully we'll get a turnaround on this situation real soon, and maybe we can start to enjoy one another and enjoy life again. But glad to hear of it, Houston. Hope that things are going well. Hope you're not going stir crazy over there. You and Mona have been sheltering in place for a long time, so hopefully you can stay busy and tinker with radios. And I think we have a handful of people that are looking for radios for sale. So I don't know if you have any, but if you did, that would be a good thing to maybe post on Facebook, because I think we do have some people that are looking for radios. Next on my list, I have Atlanta 414, Matt in Kennesaw. Matt, do you have any holiday travel adventures you'd like to share with us?
Hey, Justin, and everybody else on the net, good evening. So mine's probably more like an example that you provided, more of a misadventure or near misadventure. I was a project manager for a data center company and was working on commissioning a data center for one of our customers, and there was pressure on getting that done before the Christmas break. And I tried to wrap it up by December 18th, and that didn't work out. Let me break. So that required me to travel back up to New Jersey, Edison, New Jersey, to try to get that data center mission completed, which we did. But that brought me to December 23rd, and having to change my flight day to day, left me in a position where
was arrived at the airport, and my flight was canceled. So, and it was United. I remember this very clearly. United was not going to rebook me on a Delta flight that had one seat left. It was the last flight going out for the evening. So it took a lot of, I'll just say, positive negotiations with them to get them to rebook me on that Delta flight. And I just remember how glad I was to make it home for Christmas that year and not be stuck up in New Jersey. So, with that, I'll...
No, yes. The airlines and flight cancellations, and there was a time that when I was working with the railroad, I was working in Pittsburgh, living in Fort Wayne, and I would fly to Pittsburgh Monday morning, and then fly home Friday afternoon, and I did that for a number of weeks, and then one Friday, there was you would go from, I think that was Delta. You would go from Pittsburgh to Cincinnati, and then you would fly from Cincinnati to Fort Wayne, and the whole thing took, I don't know, with the layover, probably 5 or 6 hours, and but it was relatively painless, and so I just did it. And then one Friday afternoon, instead of going to Cincinnati, they took us to St. Louis, because Cincinnati was fogged in the afternoon. They had some really bizarre weather going on, and they were literally fogged in. There was no way we were going to land there. But rather than try to find a flight from St. Louis to Fort Wayne, they wanted me to go back to Cincinnati and then go to Fort Wayne. And I couldn't get them to understand that I don't want to do that. That's too much. I don't want extra layovers. This is the layover that was my plan, and I don't want another layover. And so finally I thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to rent a car and go home. And that's what I did. I rented a car, and I went home, and then I didn't have to play with what particular airport they were going to send me to and lay me over at again next. And the thought occurred to me that with the layover in Cincinnati, I can drive from Fort Wayne to Pittsburgh in less time than it takes me to fly. And so from that point on, that's exactly what I did. And most of the time on railroad trips now, I fly Hertz. I grab a car and I make the drive rather than mess with the airlines, because I'm not limited to what I can take, and I can I've already got a car when I get there. So I've had times too when I've landed and not been able to rent a car because they were all out, and that can be very difficult and challenging and whatnot. Uber is fine, but it just doesn't get the job done when you are working at a remote location trying to get odd hours and things like that. So, but glad you made it home for the holiday. That's a great ending to what could have been a horrible time hanging out at the airport at Christmas time. So, and yeah, projects that take longer than expected. Usually for me, that meant working weekends. But we had our delays too. But great to hear from you, and that brings me next to Atlanta 123. Tim in Woodstock. Tim, I hope you're enjoying the lights this evening. Glad to hear from you. I've got you in here as in and out, so we'll move on to a whole row of in and outs. We have CW15, David in Comer. Thank you, David, for checking in. Hope that you're hanging out with us this evening and enjoying the program. Next, I have Chattanooga 58, Bill from Lookout Mountain. He is also in and out. Thank you, Bill, for checking in. We have Atlanta 245, David in Lumpkin County. David, it's great to hear from you. I've got you in here as in and out. And we have Noonan 45. I still haven't gotten around to looking Noonan 45 up. But I've got you in log as in and out. And let's see if I can find it right here. That's EJ. EJ, thank you for checking in and out with us this evening. It's great to hear from you. And we're looking forward to catching up with you sometime soon. Next on my list, I have Atlanta 403. That would be our good friend Bobby in Port Charlotte, Florida. Bobby, how you doing this evening? Zello. The lag with Zello can be maddening at times. There he is.
Atlanta 403 here in Port Charlotte. I'm getting very bad connection with Zello tonight. I was kind of monitoring on the live feed. I know I'm probably late jumping back in, and I appreciate you giving me the break, but very bad Zello connection tonight. So my dad's doing better to everybody that knows about him being in the hospital, and that's all I got to report from here now. Down here, I got no real travel stories for the holidays. Never did much travel. So thanks for everybody's prayers, and I'll be listening. Like I said, I got a bad Zello connection tonight. 403 is clear.
All right, Bobby. Well, I'm glad you were able to use the live feed and catch up with us that way. I'm not sure what the issue is with Zello. We had a couple of good, clean Zello check-ins early on from Donald and from Chris. So I'm not sure if it's network issues in that general direction or what's going on. But in any case, hopefully one of these days we'll move away from Zello into another VoIP service that promises to be able to hold a much more reliable connection and work with a little bit less headroom. So it'll sound better with a how am I saying this? If you don't have as much bandwidth, it'll still come through and work, is what I'm understanding. So it doesn't have all the overhead that Zello has. So hopefully that will be the case. But it's great to hear from you. Glad to hear that your dad is doing better, and looking forward to further updates in that regard. With that, Bobby, I'm going to go ahead and move on to Atlanta 4-7. Todd checking in on the Sassafras repeater. It was great to hear from you, Todd. Hope you're still listening in, and hope that all is well with you and your family. Next, that brings me to Atlanta 172. Greg in Bremen. Greg, what holiday adventures would you like to share? Atlanta 172. Greg, are you still with us? That was not a Zello connection. So, okay, he must have been in and out this evening as well, and perhaps I missed that. So my apologies. I thought I did a better job of keeping up with the log, but apparently I've missed a little bit here and there. I wonder if McDonough22 Tim in Stockbridge is in with us this evening to share his holiday adventure stories, or if he was also in and out. Tim, are you with us this evening?
Yes, sir, Mr. Justin.
Fantastic.
I'm with you. I have been I've been working with a guy, Destin Webster, on the Facebook page there, trying to get his Midland radio set up, and he wants to check into the net. I really don't have a whole lot to add. Don't have a lot of plans for Christmas this year, and don't really have any outstanding stories I can think of right now. And I've been a little bit distracted looking up information for this guy here, so trying to help him out a little bit. So I think he's sitting in his Jeep waiting for you to call for late check-ins and going to try and make the repeater. I think he's on Pine Log, if I'm not mistaken. And while I'm at it, I don't think you heard Donald popped in with wanted to have a comment comment for Atlanta 403 right after he was on there. So I'm going to back out and say good evening to everyone. That's about all I've got for the net tonight. And listening on the side here, McDonough 22. I'm done.
All right, Tim. Well, thank you for your efforts in working with Daniel to get him on the air, and we'll definitely be looking for a check-in from him here shortly. We've got just 2 more before we open up the floor for additional check-ins, so hang tight there. Daniel will be with you here momentarily. I appreciate your efforts there, Tim. And yes, let's see if we can catch Donald. We'll see what his comment is for Atlanta 403. Donald's on Zello, so it may take him a moment to get the push to talk. So we'll make a nice big opening and see if Donald is able to come back in here with his comment for Atlanta 403. Donald, it's yours.
Yeah, I was going to tell Bobby I'm having the same trouble with Zello too. You're coming in and out.
All right, Donald. Well, I tell you, you sound fantastic coming into us on Zello. Your audio is great. So, for whatever reason, the path going out must be where we're having our audio issues. So, but that's good information, and at least Bobby knows it's not just him. So, as much as I try to convince him that it is. But in any case, thank you for that, and appreciate the information. Next on my list, I have Noonan59, Michael in Noonan. Michael was in and out with us this evening. Thank you for checking in with us, Michael. It's great to hear from you. And last on my list, I have Atlanta 26, Flip in Druid Hills. Flip is in and out with us this evening because he's having issues with his UHF antennas. So hopefully he's able to get that resolved, and we can hear him back on the air real soon. But thank you, Flip, for checking in with us this evening, and we look forward to hearing of your holiday adventures at some point along the way. That brings me to the end of my list. So at this time, I will ask for any additional check-ins, any late check-ins, any repeater anywhere. Net control standing by.
WRHB 731, Destin Webster from Marietta. Can you hear me out there yet?
I believe I copied WRHV 731, Destin. And yeah, I got a good copy on you. Did you say that was Marietta?
For Marietta. Thank you very much, Mr. Tim. I appreciate that. All the help off of Facebook there.
Yes, Tim is a great help, and he has an aptitude for figuring out and troubleshooting and just that roadside assistance when it comes to programming those radios. So you sound fantastic. It's great to have you on the air. Is this your first time checking in with the net?
Yes, I am previously with CB radios and kind of upgrading and growing up a little bit into GMRS, and hopefully in the next couple of years graduating to the amateur radio. But playing around with GMRS first and getting my feet wet.
Well, that's fantastic, and glad to hear that. And yeah, we often refer to GMRS radio as a gateway hobby to ham radio. So you can take that as you will. But yeah, we very much enjoy the GMRS community that we have here. We have a lot of great people in this group, and we've had an off year. 2020 has been tough because ordinarily by this time of the year we would have had a handful of gatherings for various events. We would have had fox hunts. We would have had picnics in the park. We would have had gatherings at various restaurants and other events. Sometimes we'll get a group of GMRS folks to get together and go to the air shows in the area. And none of that has happened this year. So that's unfortunate. I know that there's a lot of craving for people to get together, and ordinarily we very much like to be able to gather and put a face to the voice that we hear on the air, and that's been tough this year. So hopefully we're approaching the end of this season, and we can get back to doing some of the social activities real soon. I know that many in the organization would love to do that. So I didn't hear a tactical unit number, Destin, and that's okay. We're still glad to have you in here as a guest, but we look forward to hearing more from you as we go. And well, I guess since I've got you here, I'm going to go ahead and ask: do you have any tales of adventure for holiday travels, either in the past, or present, or future?
Well, this year, me and my wife are going to be heading up to St. Louis to see her family. I am originally from Newnan, Georgia, born and raised, but so far we're just trying to take it a little bit easy. I've had a very hectic work schedule over the last year. I do landscaping, and I'm probably one of the few people that have actually worked 7 days a week for the last 6, 7 months. Just landscape stuff. So I am actually ready to have the cold weather and stop sweating and actually enjoy myself for a little bit of the holidays and eat a lot of food because her family cooks like crazy. So, but no, you didn't hear a tactical number. I am looking to do a membership once I kind of get my feet wet and get to know how things work. So that is coming, but not yet. But it is in the future here soon. But I appreciate you guys having me on.
We're glad to hear from you, and always welcome. So yes, and landscaping. I would be willing to bet you've been very busy, just because since so many people this year are working from home. I, for one, am doing that. So I'm not going into the office. So I've got a couple of hours every day that I'm not commuting, and time that I'm able to spend here at home. And I would imagine that a lot of people look out at their yard and they think, man, I'd like to get this done or that done, or maybe we could build a little retaining wall, or maybe we could build a little garden here. Or, I could imagine that landscaping would be in very high demand. We've had some landscaping projects right here, but we've done them ourselves. But I would imagine, I mean, it would have been real easy to pick up the phone and write a check. So glad to hear that you were busy, and not in the other boat. But yeah, it's good to have a break. I'm looking forward to a little bit of time off here this Christmas holiday. I don't have the week off like I do sometimes, but I've got a little bit of time off, and we're looking forward to just being able to relax and enjoy the holiday. So no travel for us this year. That brings me to the end of my list of check-ins for North Georgia GMRS. So I'll open up the floor one more time for any late check-ins, and the floor is open if anyone has any questions, comments, or remarks. Net Control standing by.
Justin and the net.
Yeah, okay, we had a couple of doubles in there, and I heard someone call to Net Control. I don't know if they were, if that was trying to get my attention because you want the floor, or if you were just making a space for a check-in. But what I did hear was a check-in from Newnan 29, Marty in Tyrone. Marty, it's great to hear from you. And at this point, you've got the tail gunner position once again. So congratulations on that. And but let me go ahead and break and see if there's another station trying to check in, or if that was just a comment. Net Control standing by.
This is Atlanta 57 WQZC 82, Andrew in Holly Springs. I was the double.
Outstanding. Okay, Atlanta 5-7. Andrew in Holly Springs. It's great to hear from you this evening, and hope that all is well over there. Let me first go to Noonan 2-9, Marty in Tyrone. Marty, hope that you're having a great holiday season, and I'd love to hear any tales or adventures of holiday travel, past, present, or future, or anything else you'd like to talk about.
Well, I'll tell you, Justin, I strive very hard to make that tail gunner slot, and I usually can get it. I actually was downstairs today working almost all day here, finishing the basement, hanging drywall, and I looked up at the clock, and oh man, it's time to go join the net. So here I am. Nothing really to report. I've been blessed in every time I've gone anywhere for Christmas. It's been good, but I do have one really funny tale that happened on Christmas Day. Let me read that here. Celebrating Christmas with a roommate way back in the days when we had all roommates and stuff in school and such. My roommate went outside and his dog got into a fight with another dog, and he tried to break it up. In the process, his dog was part Akita and St. Bernard, and the other guy, I forget what it was, he was just a big white dog. Needless to say, he took a paw into the nostril, and it ripped the skin, like right where it attaches to your face, on his nose. When the paw, or the dog's nail, I guess we call it, got inside the nostril and tore his nose off. He's standing there bleeding all over the place and says, "Oh, I'm fine." I said, "No, you're not. We're going to the hospital." So we did, and they fixed and patched up his nose. That's not the funny part of the story. The funny part was, while we were there, another guy walked in on crutches. He had got a brand new bowling ball for Christmas and dropped it on his foot. I thought, some people just don't have a good Christmas. I guess we have to consider ourselves lucky and blessed when we do. That's my story for this evening there. Back to Nick.
Oh, my golly. A bowling ball to the foot. That could end a bowling career. Not to mention many other tasks and activities. Holy cow. That would not be fun. But having your nostril ripped off in a dogfight wouldn't be fun either. So hopefully the dogs ended up okay out of that ordeal. But yeah, that's a dangerous spot to get in between two fighting dogs, because their situational awareness is kind of, their focus is not what you would want it to be. But dangerous stuff. Well, thank you, Marty, for that tale, and hopefully there's less adventure in this Christmas and more joy and more family. So hopefully that's what we can look forward to. So thank you for that. With that, I'm going to go ahead and move on to Atlanta 5-7. Andrew in Holly Springs. Andrew, can you tell us of your tales or adventures in holiday travel, past, present, or future?
Good evening, Justin, and everyone on the net. Oh, I'm going to be kind of boring because I've never traveled for the holidays, whether it be Thanksgiving or Christmas. Stayed pretty local. Basically, normally go to, what was my grandmother's and now my aunt's for Christmas Eve every single year, and then do the family thing here at the house. So, unfortunately, I don't have any good tales. That bowling ball tale and all that was good. So I have nothing to follow that up with. So, but hey, we're doing good over here. Enjoying the holiday season. Albeit a little bit different than what we're used to, but that's okay. Different is sometimes good. But in this instance, hopefully things will get back to normal here fairly soon. So, not really much else to report at the moment. Just been doing some family time here in the evenings and kind of let the radio get a little neglected. So decided to go over here to the GMRS side and give it a little love. So I'll throw it back to net control.
Well, we're glad that you made it over to the GMRS side this evening. It's great to hear from you. And, yeah, I guess, the Christmas season doesn't have to be National Lampoon crazy stories. It can just be family and memories and, just the presence of one another. And that's something that I think that we crave a lot right now. And even if it's just, just us, just having that time together has become very meaningful for 947 and I. And so in that aspect of this this COVID catastrophe, there's been a lot that we've been able to enjoy working on things together and just spending time together and having time in front of the television together. Although we don't really watch that much TV, and I think we've watched more in the last month than probably in the previous year, all combined. But in any case, it's been nice just having a little slower pace to life. The rat race is there's not that many rats to race right now, and that's a good thing, I think, and hopefully something that we can hold on to even as we do transition back into a more normal social society. So great to hear from you, Andrew, and looking forward to more radio adventures as we proceed. That is the end of my list, so I'm going to take one more break for any late check-ins, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. Net Control standing by for any late check-ins, any comments. The floor is open. Standing by. Okay, I think that's my cue. So this concludes the North Georgia GMRS Regional Net. Tonight we had a total of 29 check-ins, including myself. Net Control will now be returning the repeaters back to normal use. Everyone who signed in should sign out. Thank you for allowing me to serve as your Net Control this evening. Good night, everyone. This is Atlanta 946, WQIR 514, Justin in Woodstock, signing off. All right, folks. Well, that is the end of our net. So from this point forward, we just have a handful of people that are going to check out. There's really not that many. We had a lot of in and outs tonight. There goes Tim. I think I heard Atlanta 911 in there.
This is Atlanta 911.
There she is.
WRAS 515. Clear the net for the evening. Have a good one, everybody.
This is Atlanta 308, WRJF 981. I'm clear. Good evening.
308. Where's he at?
Atlanta 57, WQZC 882. I'm clear. Good night, everyone.
Okay. Oh, there he is. All right, so you folks don't have to stick around for all of that. So I'm going to go ahead and fade that channel out.
Atlanta 299,
There we go. And thank you for hanging out with us this evening. And I'm going to move my chair back over here and hit that button so that I can say thanks to you and look forward to hanging out with all of you again next week. We will be taking the Christmas Thursday off, so there will be no net that particular Thursday, but we'll be here next week, and I think we're going to have a short net on New Year's. We're probably just going to run through the list real quick and ask for resolutions, and I imagine most people won't have one, so we're going to try to make it a quick net so that we can get on with celebrating the new year. And with that in mind, Merry Christmas to all of you, and we hope to see you back here again next week. Have a good evening. This is WQIR 514, Atlanta 946. Clear.